Welcome back to the channel, gents. So, we know that hidden men, aka nice guys, say yes to things when they actually mean no. And then what happens after that is they wonder why they are resentful, why they feel drained. You know, boundaries. They know about boundaries. I mean, I know about boundaries, but they can't seem to hold them. I couldn't either. And I'm still working on it today. And they just can't hold them. So today I want to talk about why nice guys struggle with boundaries and how we can set them without guilt starting now, right? So like how can we set it without guilt, without feeling guilty? So let's go over what is the core issue. Why do hidden men fail at setting boundaries? Right? Why do they fail? So the root issue is between the nice guy and the hidden man is they link their boundaries to rejection, right? So what does that mean? So they have this belief in their head, or we have it. I mean, I've had it for long. I still deal with it every day now. So the belief is, or the programming, right? The program that we've been programmed to believe is, if I set a boundary, people will get mad, they will leave, or the most common one I found is they'll think I'm selfish, right? Like, you're just selfish, right? And it's an emotional wiring that is developed from childhood, right? So it's like fear of disapproval. That is being, again, that is being scared of being abandoned or not getting the love that they wanted because people disapproved of them. Over identifying with being good. So, in other words, they try to be good. They have to be seen as good and not bad to be loved all the time. So you avoid, or you try everything just to get other people to think that you are nice, to think that you are a good person, even if you're not, even if it's not from an authentic place. And then you have, sorry, that's itchy. Then you have avoiding conflict at all costs. This one is the main one. It's conflict avoidance. I've done a few of these on the channel. You can check it out. So, like, having someone angry at you, having someone, this triggers massive, in most men, kind of an anxiety or like a fear-based response, right? We don't like being in the conflict zone because it makes us feel really uncomfortable because of people will get mad, people think I'm a bad person, they won't like me. So they avoid conflict to not rock the boat, to not feel the abandonment issues or the fear of that. Whether the person will abandon or not, it doesn't matter. They have that fear, so they sacrifice their own needs, which then leads to like a burnout, because you have so much resentment, you have such weak relationships because there's no authentic connection, there's no real connection there. So let's jump into the next one. Excuse me. The guilt trap. And why guilt hits hard. So like, this is from your childhood patterns, your childhood programming, right? So why guilt hits hard? So let's look at that. You were conditioned to believe that self-care equals selfishness. So hidden men, right, and nice guys, you were conditioned that if I take care of myself, put myself first in everything, take care of myself first, that equals selfishness or self-care. If I look after my needs, my wants, then means selfishness, and that is bullshit. Excuse my language, but that is bullshit. That is not true, right? Self-care does not equal selfishness, and being a bit selfish is actually a good thing. So what does the guilt that you feel there, what does it What is it telling you? What is that emotion, that guilt telling you, right? You know, you can use that as a signal. Like when you're saying a boundary and you feel guilty, use it as a signal. So you're breaking old patterns. Notice them, understand them in a sense. Like journal them, or just take a note on your phone about what are you feeling when you've set this boundary and you're feeling guilty about it. Why? Like dig deeper into it. Like what does this really signal, right? And then it's a sign of growth, not wrongdoing, right? Obviously depending on the boundary, but it can go too far. But it's also a sign of growth. Like you're feeling guilty. Okay, so now you got to go through that guilt. And once you go through that guilt and start realizing and start implementing and holding these boundaries, you're going to become comfortable in a sense. You won't become comfortable, but you'll be able to set and hold boundaries easier each time you do it. And it's growth, right? So you grow through doing, through the action. And it's not a wrongdoing. So that when you feel guilty, just tell yourself I'm not doing something wrong. Right? So what boundaries actually are and what they aren't. So let's dive in. This will be a quick though. So what boundaries actually are. So I've got clear limits about what you accept and what you don't accept. Clear. Like perfectly clear. It's out in the open, right? You spell it out for people in a sense. It's clear. Clear limits about what you accept and you don't. I don't accept you talking to me that way. Right? Just simple things or whatever. It's like how clear your limits. And a way to protect your energy and values, right? So boundaries are a way to protect your energy and your values. If you have certain values, like I have my personal code of honor, in that one of the things is I will not, I'm busy studying it at the moment, so be loyal to the brotherhood is one of my tenets. So it's be loyal to my brothers. Do not betray my brothers. That is a boundary for me, right? So if a situation comes up where I would betray them for something, let's say for another woman or whatever your example is, like I would cut them off so because I've got a new girlfriend. No, I will be loyal. I will not fold on them. I will not take whatever they tell me that's personal, and I will not share it. I will not break that trust, right? That is just an example, right? And just these simple things that protect your energy. You have only so much energy in a day. You need to do these things that you need to protect it. And your values you need to protect. Yeah, so let's go to it. And what boundaries actually are not. What they are not controlling others. What other people do is what other people do. It has nothing to do with you. The way they react to your boundary, everything like that that's them. Obviously you don't be mean, you don't insult them, you don't be an ass about it. You set boundaries respectfully, but how they react to that boundary and you enforcing that boundary is up to them. It's take offense. So they take offense. They choose to be offended if it happens that way. So it's not controlling others, and it's not being rude or harsh, right? As I just said, it's not about being rude. You don't need to be rude. You don't need to be an ass, and you don't have to do it in a harsh way. There are nice ways you can do it. You can be honest in a nice way. You don't have to be honest in an asshole way. And so, what is a key mindset to shift on this, on boundaries? One key mindset you can think of it is boundaries are about me, right? Not them. And again, it's not selfish. It's actually a benefit to other people if you have boundaries, because it will show them how to respect you and how to interact with you properly, and then you could have a great relationship, vice versa, right? So boundaries are about me. It's not selfishness. It's about me, and it's not about other people, right? And a framework. I'm going to give another framework today, a lot of frameworks. So, how to set boundaries without guilt, right? Step one, get clear. What drains you? What is a non negotiable for your well being, right? Like, write these things down. Like, when after these things, what drains you after you have an action with this person? Does it drain me? Whatever. And then step two, communication simply and calmly. So again, I've said this before, use the I statements. I am not available for that. I need time to recharge. Right? So again, it's I, it's what about you? It's not selfishness. And for example, like I need time to recharge, instead of asking permission or trying to get permission, like, can I have some time to recharge? Like, you see the difference there? It's like, I need time to recharge. I'm going to do this. Right? You can ask for input. I'm not saying don't ask for input, but whereas if you ask for permission, it's a different thing. So, step three, hold the line. Hold the line. And I'm telling that to myself as well. Hold the line. Because expect pushback. Like, they're going to push that boundary. They're going to, especially your wife or your LTR, she is going to test your boundary. She's going to, what do they call it in the one, uh, shit test? I think that's what they call it. I'm not too familiar with that one. I have heard a lot of it, but I don't ever delved into that one. But it is essentially a shit test. I have actually delved into it, but I don't want to use it so much. So expect pushback. She's going to push. Like, can you hold your boundary? Are you serious about this boundary that you've set? Or is it just another one of, oh, I've said this and then I can just she can just break it, or that person can just break it, right? They're testing. They're pushing back on your boundary, and they're going to test it and see if you are going to stick to your word, right? Or stick to your boundary. And stay grounded. Just stay grounded. Breathe. Don't let your nervous system hijack it, and repeat if necessary. Just go through the repeat cycle, right? Broken record. So you go, I'm not available for that. I'm not available for that. I'm not available for that. I need time to recharge. I need time to recharge. Or I am not okay with that. I am not okay with that. I feel frustrated. Like, you can become a broken record. And step number four. Normalize discomfort. This one is difficult to implement in a sense. Not difficult to implement, but when you are a hidden man, this can get a bit really uncomfortable. I struggled with this one for a very long time. I am a lot better now. I can sit in a lot of discomfort now without cracking, without um, you know, breaking boundaries or anything like that. So normalize discomfort. What does that mean? It's like, remind yourself, temporary discomfort is worth long-term peace. Remember, boundaries and all that equals peace, right? Being authentic equals peace. Peace in who you are. Doesn't mean you're not going to have arguments. Doesn't mean you're not going to have small fights or issues, but you're going to have peace. So, temporary discomfort. Like, you're gonna feel scared. You're gonna feel the fear of abandonment. You're gonna feel really uncomfortable in holding the boundaries at first. It's totally normal. The more you do it, the better you get. So just realize that it is. So I used to do a lot of things. What did I do? I don't particularly like shopping. I don't like going to the shops. I don't like interacting with people in the shops in a sense. It's or malls or things or markets, because I don't like being squashed in with people all the time and walking and I don't like it. And a lot of times I would be asked, like, do I want to go to the market or to the shop or something? And I would in my head, I would say, I really don't want to go. But my face would be, yeah, let's go. We can do that. Right? That is an example of like I could have said no and set a boundary in a sense of like, okay, I don't want to go. Right? And because I say yes, I break that authentic side of me. And then this changed over time. Like the more I'm playing, it's got, that's just an example that popped up to my head, but I have said no to many things, like, and I'm starting to take charge and I'm starting to set boundaries. Like, I don't appreciate being talked to like this. I feel I I feel frustrated when you do this. Well, no, that's wrong too, because again, you're saying when you do this. I frustrated because of da 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 da, right? So people, oh, sorry. So when you hold firm on your boundaries or on things you don't want to do, you start to release or gain energy. You start to keep your energy. You keep your energy with you, right? And you start become comfortable in saying no. You start becoming free about yourself in a sense like you can agree, disagree. You can set a boundary and keep it, right? So why does a strong boundary strong boundaries build strong relationships? Why would it? And obviously, I don't mean over the top boundaries, a boundary about everything. And no, don't do that. That's stupid. Ask me, I know. I tried that. But why does this build a strong relationship? The key point, the truth of it is, people trust and respect you more when you respect yourself. As I said, when you respect yourself, when you have boundaries and what in place, and people can see how you hold those boundaries, it also shows them like, this guy really respects himself. He has a self-worth of himself. He actually loves himself. And this will teach them how to respect you, and they will be more respectful to you. And healthy boundaries are attractive, and especially for healthy relationships. If you want a healthy relationship, healthy boundaries build so much of that. So like, where do you need to set a boundary this week? This week. Drop in the comments down below. This week, where do you need to set a boundary? Where are you saying yes in any area or any pillar of life? Where are you saying yes when you mean no? Set a boundary. Start this week. Comment down below. Where are you going to do it? And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.